Major reversal today. The CDC is updating its guidance, saying some fully vaccinated people should wear masks indoors again. The changes target K through 12 schools and communities with high COVID transmission rates. So what does that mean for us in Minnesota? Gordon Severson's here to break it all down for us.
Yeah, the new recommendation is that anyone who lives in an area with high or substantial transmission should wear a mask inside, whether or not you are vaccinated. So looking at the CDC's map here, you can see Minnesota here. A lot of it is yellow. High and substantial is actually red and orange. There's only about 14 counties here in Minnesota that fit that description. But if you look further down south here, you look at Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Florida, pretty much the entire state meets that description. Now, basically nationwide, about 2/3 of Americans live in these higher transmission areas. Now, today, the CDC also released a new recommendation that everyone in K through 12 schools, teachers, staff, students, and visitors should also wear masks inside, even if they haven't been vaccinated. CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky says these recommendations come after some new evidence shows that in rare cases, vaccinated people can still catch and spread the Delta variant.
In recent days, I have seen new scientific data from recent outbreak investigations showing that the Delta variant behaves uniquely differently from past strains of the virus that caused COVID-19.
Now, it's important to keep in mind that this is just a recommendation. It is not a mandate of any kind. But with this new recommendation, more companies, states, and counties could potentially decide to start requiring masks again. Back to you.
Gordon, thank you.